10 horrifying consequences. If earthworms dominated the world, have you ever imagined a future where humans are no longer the rulers of this planet, but earthworms are? At first, it sounds absurd. A harmless creature suddenly becoming the dominant species. But imagine for a moment, through a bizarre twist of evolution, these creatures gain intelligence, size, and power, and humanity becomes prey. This is what our world could look like if earthworms ruled the earth. 1. Giant earthworms devour the surface. Imagine standing in a deserted city, looking up and seeing a colossal earthworm, hundreds of meters long, coiling around skyscrapers like titanic serpents. Their hunger would be insatiable. Entire forests, farmlands, and even infrastructure would be consumed by these behemoths as they reshaped the planet's surface, turning it into a vast labyrinth of tunnels. Humanity would struggle to survive above ground. Roads would collapse, buildings would sink, cities would vanish overnight into massive sinkholes created by their endless burrowing. 2. Humanity forced underground. Ironically, to escape the worm's wrath, humans would be forced into the very place earthworms once called home, the deep underground. Massive subterranean bunkers would become our only sanctuary. Life under the Earth's surface would be suffocating, dark, and desperate. Fresh air would be scarce, food supplies limited, and psychological pressure unbearable. Humanity would become a shadow of its former self, reduced to frightened refugees beneath the world we once ruled. 3. The collapse of ecosystems. Earthworms, now capable of consuming unimaginable amounts of biomass, would destroy ecosystems worldwide. Forests would wither, wetlands would dry up, and oceans would become polluted by endless burrowing. Animal species dependent on stable soil environments would go extinct rapidly. Our carefully balanced natural cycles would crumble, leading to food shortages, droughts, and climate chaos. 4. The end of agriculture. For millennia, humans relied on agriculture to survive, but with giant worms reshaping the soil, farming would become impossible. Farmlands would collapse into enormous tunnels. Crops would vanish overnight, devoured before they could even sprout. Livestock would have no grazing lands. Civilization would face mass famine. Wars would erupt over dwindling food supplies, and only a handful of fortified underground sanctuaries could sustain life. 5. Earthquakes and planetary instability. Imagine billions of massive worms constantly burrowing beneath Earth's crust, carving endless tunnels. The planet's foundation would become unstable. Entire cities would collapse into vast caverns. Sudden earthquakes would strike daily as the balance of tectonic plates shifted. Eventually, entire continents might fragment, swallowed by massive subterranean voids. Humanity would face extinction, not from war, but from the collapse of the very ground beneath our feet. 6. Humans become prey. Earthworms, now intelligent and carnivorous, would develop a taste for flesh, human flesh. Imagine walking through a ruined street, hearing a low rumble beneath your feet, and before you can react, the ground bursts open. A monstrous worm emerges, its circular mouth lined with razor-sharp ridges, sucking everything into darkness. We would no longer be hunters. We would be the hunted. 7. A new global hierarchy. With their superior size and control over the land, worms would establish dominance. Giant colonies would function like empires, each led by a massive alpha worm. Humans would become slaves, forced, to serve as food gatherers and tunnel diggers. Our species' pride and intelligence would mean nothing. We'd be nothing more than cattle in a world ruled by creatures we once crushed underfoot. 8. Poisonous toxins in the atmosphere with billions of colossal worms excreting waste on an unimaginable scale. Toxic gases would flood the atmosphere. Ammonia and methane levels would spike, choking the air. Breathing without filtration systems would become impossible. The skies would turn hazy, sunlight would dim, and humanity would fight a losing battle for breathable air. 9. Wars between worm empires as earthworms evolved intelligence. They wouldn't just dominate humans, they'd fight each other. Imagine towering worm empires clashing beneath the surface, collapsing entire regions as they waged war underground. The Earth would become a living battlefield, with explosions, sinkholes, and tremors tearing continents apart while humans hid. In fear, trapped between warring titans. 10. The fall of humanity's legacy in the end. Everything we've built, our cities, monuments, cultures, and histories, would be erased. Skyscrapers would crumble. Libraries would rot. Our technological advancements would be swallowed whole by the endless burrows. Centuries from now, no trace of humanity would remain. And perhaps, as intelligent worms gazed up at the stars, they would wonder if they were ever truly alone, never knowing we once existed. A haunting reflection. It sounds terrifying, and it is. But hidden beneath this nightmare lies a reminder. Humanity's place on Earth is fragile. We've always believed we control the planet, but power is never permanent. One shift in nature, one unexpected evolutionary leap, and everything changes. So next time you see a small earthworm wriggling in the soil, remember, in another world, it could be us crawling for survival.